Okay, so Tess asked a question to me about how many medications I tried before doing Benlysta, so I'm going to get into that. Also, I highly encourage any other patients that are using Benlysta to answer this question and drop their experience in the comments so that Tess can gather a little bit more information about other people, not just me. Okay, so I was diagnosed with lupus in 2018, and at that time I started on Imuran. I was allergic to Plaquenil. I tried it quite a few years earlier because of my Sjogren's. Anyways, started with Imuran. After 4 months, Imuran wasn't working to its fullest potential, and I was going downhill like fast. So then my doctor put me on to prednisone and was bridging me to the 6 month mark with the Imuran, hoping that by then the Imuran would start working. I tapered off of the prednisone. Imuran was not working. I actually wasn't able to get off of the prednisone, and that's when methotrexate was introduced into my regime. With the methotrexate, she started me at 20 milliliters per week, and then again, I had to taper down off of prednisone, was not able to get off of it. And then my methotrexate was increased to 25 milliliters per week, and that is the max dose used for arthritic conditions. I tried to taper off of prednisone again at that point. I think this was like the third or fourth time that I tried to taper, and I was not able to taper off because my symptoms were coming back like full force and worse every single time. I could tell that the methotrexate was helping, but just not enough, and I was already on the max dose, so my rheumatologist couldn't give me any more of what I knew was working. So my rheumatologist was explaining to me that Benlysta was developed specifically to help lupus patients just like me get off of prednisone because prednisone is not a safe medication to use long term. And so that is when she suggested Benlysta, and we started the application process. I'm in Canada, so there's like a bunch of other paperwork that we had to do because it was fairly new to Canada at the time that I started it. It took Benlysta about 6 months to start working enough that I could taper fully off of prednisone, and then another probably like 4 months for me to like start feeling noticeably better and start getting my quality of life back. I was like basically bedbound at that point. And so to answer your question, I had been on Imuran, prednisone for 2.5 years, and methotrexate before Benlysta was introduced into my medicine regime. I'd also like to throw out this question to anybody else in the lupus community that's on Benlysta. How many medications did you try before you were put onto Benlysta? Please drop a comment and share your experience.